Yo, what's up guys, it's Jerry here. I'm going to break down the project file of my new track Hell that just came out a couple weeks ago. I got 4 main things I'm going to walk you through. Let's dive right into it. Alright fam, first thing I want to go over is this long intro. The first 16 bars have some brass stabs, a few ambient sounds, and a re-space holding the root note of the track. I've got a couple ambient sounds here in this scary ambience channel, like these poppers, this crash cymbal, and then a lead which pitches down. Here's how they sound. And that then leads into the melodic section where I introduce some of the chords. I made them in a few different contact instruments. I've got a piano top line, some strings, another piano chords, Rhodes, a pad, and a choir, sounding like this. And to make them sound more natural, I went ahead and I used 2 Ableton MIDI devices, the velocity and random note delay. And I wanted to make sure that all of these chords had the same MIDI programmed to them. So what I did was I used one empty MIDI channel which contained the MIDI clip, and I routed each of those instruments as the input to the MIDI input clip. So in this example, I've got this grand piano here, and you can see I've clicked the in here, which is routing to the MIDI input. So this grand piano will use the MIDI clip and the MIDI effects from that channel, like this. To talk a little bit about the music theory, I go ahead and I walk down the chromatic scale here to keep going with the dark and eerie vibe. So I go D, C sharp, C, B, A sharp, G, and then I finish on the dominant to resolve things, going into the first break here where the acid lead comes in. The acid bass is one of the main parts of the track, but it plays the same melody throughout most of the song. So I went ahead and I added some effects, ambience, as well as other impacts to keep things fresh and moving. This is how that sounds together. Here in my effects group, I have some risers and fallers, as well as this siren sound. Creating wide sounds like the siren also helps create some depth. In my subgroup, I have a sub drop which starts on the first part of the break like this. And then here in the drums, I start by opening the filter of the hi-hat, and I have this impact clap like this. And here, using the delay and automating it on helps create some spatial tension and depth. And the key takeaway here is, for some of the effects as well as some of those impacts, it's important to put them far back in the mix. And I did that by adding different spatial effects like reverb, delay, and then also cutting off some of the high end. To go ahead and talk about the riff that plays throughout most of the song, I'm going to open up the MIDI clip for it. Here's an example of it, and it features the D minor blues scale. So the track itself is in D minor, and in the intro, I use some of the chromatic scale where I move down semitone by semitone. The D minor blues scale takes the 5th, like any blues scale, and flattens it. So here the riff goes D, F, G, F, and instead of playing an A, I play this G sharp, and that's what gives it the dark and jazzy vibe.
The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to you.
The last thing I want to go over is the second break and how I took the melodic intro and added more elements to it to keep it interesting. Here, I've got this music box that I made in Contact using the factory library. I took the MIDI like this, and I used Ableton's arpeggiator to arpeggiate all the notes downward. Then I went ahead and I sampled one of my favorite quotes, which is from the movie Rocky VI. I went ahead and I ripped it off YouTube. Here's how it sounds in the full context of the mix.
The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life.
Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you learned a couple things about my songwriting process, music theory, and some sound design. Let me know if you have any questions below. Drop a comment, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.